I want to talk a little bit about expectations and their impact on our happiness. When I look back on times in my life, big or little, when I was relatively unhappy, I think that most of the time it was because my expectations of how things were gonna be were not lined up with reality. So for example, I recently had a C-section. I'm so grateful for the health and the life of my daughter and my own health, but there was a lot for me to process through. It was really difficult for me to process through that. I think because I didn't expect that to happen. On a much more superficial note, when I saw La La Land, it had been so built up that for me, the movie just didn't live up to my very high expectations and I was left dissatisfied. Don't hate me for saying that. One of the most dangerous times for expectations is when we're dealing with family situations. You know, you go home for Thanksgiving or a holiday and you're like, oh, it's gonna be perfect, or at least I do. I have an ideal in my mind. And then 100% of the time, it is not how I expected it to be. So what do we say then, that expectations are bad? No, they're totally natural. God must have given us expectations for a reason. I don't know if this is correct. I'm not a philosopher by any stretch of the imagination, but I'm trying to use expectations almost like a flag, like noticing when I'm expecting something of a person or a situation, and using that to remind myself to pray about it. Our expectations are too heavy for people and things to carry, but they're not too heavy for God to carry. So if we turn that into prayer, and we turn that, rather than expectation, into hope, I think that will lead to more happiness, or at least more peace when situations don't go how we think they're gonna go. I'm still kind of processing through this whole idea, so if you have any input or thoughts on this, I expect you to leave them in the comments below. Make sure you catch all the latest Spirit Juice goodness. Hover over the following tab on our page and select See First.